Okay, so this new Hellzone Grenade Festival Edition skill, let's talk about this real quick. It's probably the weakest out of this bunch that we've gotten. Actually, no, I'd say it's objectively the weakest because of just the lack of utility it has and the fact that it is just as generic as it gets. It is just a combo super that leads into a boatload of damage. That's it. Now, despite the fact that it does start out with melee at the beginning, it is counted as a Ki Blast super, so the speed type is the best option for you because it has the highest Ki Blast superpower. And it is, oddly enough, able to land on knockbacks. It has a deceptive amount of reach. And it actually is kind of quick. I think the maximum reach is about this distance, yeah. So you could, in theory, use it as a whiff punish. It's a cheeky little whiff punish. And it actually does have some solid Oki after you hit somebody with it. However, this skill suffers from the same problem that a lot of other skills like it do, and that is the fact that it is just too slow. And it knocks your enemy off balance for a considerable amount of time, allowing them to regenerate stamina and use an evasive skill like Instant Rise to get out of it and punish you. It does stop if your opponent evasives it very early, and luckily it is not a vanishable skill like Hellblade Rush was, which is just... I still do not understand why they put that skill in the game. That Hellblade Rush might have actually been definitively the most useless skill in the entire game. Talking about that skill still makes me pissed off. But it luckily does not have that issue. However, unlike Frieza's new Sonic Bomb Festival skill that I went over earlier, uh, this one does not have any cancel windows. It is just you commit into it, and he will always go into that Hellzone Grenade follow up. He will stop doing it up until he lands that last kick if your opponent decides to evasive it early. But once he lands that kick, he will always go into the Hellzone Grenade, even if your opponent evasives. Like so. And I should demonstrate this as well. It is blockable. Despite the fact that it comes around you and behind you, because of the way this game's block box works, you are able to guard this. It is not unblockable like the ultimate attack. But it is actually pretty decent to use this whenever you've got them standing, because they're not going to regenerate their stamina a lot. And it does a pretty decent amount of damage. And like I said, you can land it off of knockbacks, which is also decent. But the fact that it just takes so long, and it has no protective frames whenever he goes into that, allows you to just punish the shit out of your enemy. In fact, I think I haven't even tested this yet. Yep, you can raw break them on a punish. Yep, that's a fatal weakness. That is a fatal weakness right there. So that's all you have to do. You can get a raw break punish right there. Yeah, so yeah, this skill's it's honestly not that great. It has a lot of fatal weak, and that weakness in particular, being able to be raw broken on a punish, that is a fatal weakness that Any skill that has it is just going to be left in the dust because it is, like I said, it is a fatal weakness. You do not want to have that weakness on any skill that you use. Otherwise, your opponent is going to exploit it, and you are never going to be able to use that skill as a result. So it's not even, there's no point in even equipping it at that point. And I should mention that it actually does do a fair amount of damage. If you have this Super Soul stacked up, it can actually dish out some fair amounts of damage. This is the DBS Superhero Gohan Super Soul, by the way. But that's pretty much it for this skill. Honestly, unless you're just going for style points or the completionist route, I would not recommend going for this one. You're kind of just wasting your time. Unless you absolutely just feel like getting this skill for some weird reason, I would not recommend it. Go for Frieza instead. Frieza's Festival Sonic Bomb is objectively better in every single way.